All right, gents, we are in the midst of the 1980s in our Canucks at 50 anniversary series, and it's just a fascinating decade from the uniforms to the personalities. And you look at these big moments in the 80s. They had, of course, the coach going into the stands in 1982 and getting suspended, which opens the door for the assistant Roger Nielsen to come in and towel power and this amazing run all the way to the Cup Finals for the first time. And then people think that this is it. The Canucks have emerged, and then they have this crash in the middle of the 80s where they are literally the worst team in hockey for 3, 4, 5 years, and in that, they trade away Cam Neely, they draft Trevor Linden. It may not have been the most successful decade, but it's so rich when you look at this club and the characters and the events involved.
I'm just fascinated by the rehabilitation of the Flying V sweater. Because remember what a source of jokes they were when they came out. These are the worst jerseys ever, unbelievable. And now they're these kind of like iconic Canucks jerseys. I got a great anecdote. I was talking to both Stan Smeel and Colin Campbell over the weekend, and when Campbell saw the Flying Vs come out, he immediately texted Smeel, "Oh, those jerseys look great. They look fantastic."
Oh,
because he
now.
Exactly. You know, he didn't text him in 1982. No, he texted him about how fabulous those jerseys work and how come they're not wearing them in the game. And Stan had to explain that because of NHL rules, they can't. Where they're only allowed the third jersey, the one extra one. But yeah, no, it was. And I looked down and I said, "Geez, these things look fantastic now." And I remember thinking, back in the day, those are terrible. So yeah.
I thought it was really interesting, like you said, Ed, talking about 1982 and talking to Smeel as well at one point, talking about when they went from Chicago to Uniondale, the league, as we know, we've been to Uniondale, booked all the hotels. So the Canucks were staying at the Shady Rest or whatever, 2 hours from Uniondale to start that series.
They weren't at that Marriott?
Yeah. They weren't at that great beer-soaked Marriott that we've all been at across the parking lot. And it was just interesting to hear Stan talk about the physical and mental hurdles of trying to beat that franchise that was starting to evolve in the middle of the 4-Cup run. Mike Bossy scoring 3 goals in the first game, 7 in the series, and the fact that as the series went on, it got tougher. And Stan said, everybody talks about that perfect pass that Harold Snepps put on Bossy's stick in overtime in Game 1. He said, people forget we were leading Game 2.
Yeah.
If we could have got one game out of there, we probably could have made something out of that series. And then Stan corrected himself and said, we were never going to win.
No,
they got better every game, and when we got home, we had
But
nothing.
honestly, if they had, you talk about one, they could have come home up 2-0.
Up 2-0, and it's interesting that Stan thought the biggest problem was not just coming home down to Bagel. It was the fact that they come out of the airport and it's like the Rose Bowl parade. The reception that they got.
Yeah.
He thought the mental strain of that on top of playing a team that was getting better every game because they'd been there, done that, was really, really something. And to this day, even when I talked to him the other day, it still bugs him how those first 2 games played out.
And that showed too, because it was towel power. They came home.
Yeah.
The place was absolutely electric because they'd been close in those first 2 games. They get shut out in Game 3, 3-0, and that was pretty much it for the series. So great stuff through the Canucks at 50. All season long, we're going to carry it through the decades. Read our stories, videos, and podcasts at vancouversun.com and theprovince.com.